Cheers.
Internet kick in. There we go. Here's Alana.
Cheers, my friend. It's nice to see you after
How are
so
you?
long. I'm doing
I know.
well.
I feel like it's been forever. And I'm kind of excited that we get to turn the tables and you're on my show today instead of the other way around.
I know. I don't like it at all.
It's
I like
weird,
being the
isn't
one
it?
to ask the questions. It's so weird. It's so weird.
Well, you can ask some back if you want. We could switch
Okay.
it up. Maybe you'll be like in down the road since we're building up virtual coffee club. Maybe you can be like a guest host. Like when I
Oh,
go,
when
right?
you
Like
go
you
on
can,
vacation?
yeah, whenever that will be someday when we can have vacations.
Can you actually go on vacation somewhere? Not your
When I go
backyard?
on vacation to my deck and I'll just watch you. So
From the other
bizarre.
room. Yes. What a time to be alive, hey?
I'll be in your closet. Hey, so good. Good morning, Kelly. Good morning, Melodine. We're just drinking coffee while we wait for people to join us. Look at you with like the strategically placed logos everywhere this morning. I'm so proud of you.
This is my setup. This is where I've been doing my Zoom interviews for the last year because we haven't been able to have football and hockey is very limited access. So this is the setup.
Yeah. See, and I love seeing people that have this really great staged corner. And I think, man, I really could have worked on that this year.
Yeah. It's
I do have that
minimalistic.
picture and a clock.
Yeah.
There was a piano here for quite some time, but it moved. So I don't know. It is what it is. Pam's with us this morning. Good morning, Suzanne. Oh, my
And
summer
Mike
intern.
LaBelle, the summer intern.
Cadence, good morning. There we go. Most of the gang is here. Welcome to Virtual Coffee Club. Of course, it's Fun Friday, my favorite day of the week because we get to introduce you to other cool friends around the world. And this lady has been on my list of wanted guests for a while. And so it worked out for this morning. So I'm very excited. So friends, please welcome Alana Nolan. Ta-da! It's like
cheers, everybody.
Like the crowd noise.
Mm.
You miss crowd noise?
I miss crowd noise. Yeah.
Miss crowd
noise. The canned crowd noise is very, very strange.
Yeah. No doubt. Well, anything out of a can can sometimes be very strange. So cheering is no exception, really, at the end of the day. For anybody who is not familiar with my beautiful friend who's with us today, Alana, gosh, you were a television host for what, 10 years?
Oh, gosh. Yeah, sure. Let's go with that.
I mean, she's not.
I moved to Calgary
when she was 10. Yeah.
Yeah. I moved to Calgary in 2011 to work for Shaw. And that was 10 years ago. So, yeah.
It's kind of freaky when you put a number on it like that, isn't it?
It's even freakier when we talk about how long I've been in the industry. So we'll just go with 10.
So you're like, gross.
Yeah.
Great.
Neat.
You're also a former trick rider. So you did a lot of trick riding in your day also. And you still kind of pull it out from time to time.
Only when Sam Mitchell makes me.
Yeah. Well, I would do what she said too.
Yeah. You should get her on the show.
Never misses. She's on the list. She's on the list for sure. And people may have most recently like seen you in the trick ride if they came out to, gosh, we got to go back in the archives to remember when we had public events. You were a part of Ski Jordu and the Ski Jor Canada crew. And that was seriously some of my most fun. Like, I can't wait till we get to fire that stuff back up again.
I know. We've been talking about it. We've got plans in the works. We're committed to 2022. It's going to happen. We got some irons in the fire, let's just say. So more locations.
What Ski Jordu is, because we have people who join us from Coffee Club all over the world, which is so exciting. And they may not have heard of this before because not everywhere that tunes in also gets the snow that we do. So can you Can you explain what skijordoing is? I just like saying it.
I know, right? It's you'd say it very well. Most people, my boss calls it skijordling, which is not correct at all.
Nice.
So skijoring is a sport where you are a skier or a snowboarder is pulled behind a horse or a dog in some parts of the world. We in Alberta, in Calgary, do it with a horse. And Skijordu is an event that we put on every February, except for this last February, where we combine the sport of skijoring with the cheesy fun of fondue. So Skijordu. So we have a very après-ski fun vibe. It's a competition, obviously. There's courses set up. There's races. There's prizing. There's also some fun for the spectators. They can dress up, and there's prizes for best dressed, as well as cheese fondue, bratwurst, a lot of local beer, local products sold. So it's a good time every February.
Nice. It combines all the favorite things.
All of the favorite things. And it's really something to do in the winter, because when you think about it, in Calgary, people go skiing, but there's really no big event. So we sort of tried to fill that void and tried to make it really inclusive for everybody. It's like, okay, well, if you don't ski, but you ride, here's something you can do. If you don't ride, but you ski, here's something for you. If you don't do either, you can find your grandmother's fur coat that's been hanging in the closet and whip that on and come out for a great time. So
I was going to say, that makes this weird fashion element to the whole thing. Like, people wear the wildest shit to this thing.
The ski suits are my favorite. The 80s ski suits with like the bright pinks and the purples. And then like you mix it with, I don't know, a sombrero. Like we encourage the weirdest people to come to Skijordu. We want to see your weird for sure.
Yeah. Now, can you imagine for a moment doing the version with dogs? I kind of feel like I'd rather be pulled by a horse, but maybe that's just because I'm not familiar with the
control. Yeah, I don't know how that would work.
And I feel like for me, I would definitely want like a herd of Saint Bernards. I know the Huskies are real tough little guys, but I want to upgrade to the Saint Bernard.
Could you imagine like a team of dachshunds with their little legs?
They'd like underneath the snow. But so cute. But I don't know. I feel like to pull us on a sofa, which was one of the things, we would need about 45 dachshunds to do that. Yeah.
I don't know. I think it'd be cute.
Something.
A wiener race.
Something to add.
Something to consider.
A bit of a wiener dog race in the middle of the thing. We'll just throw that out there. We
could put knit them little sweaters.
Yeah.
With numbers on them, and then you could bet on them. This is a great idea. We got to get Sam on the phone.
Someone should be taking notes. It's a good thing this gets recorded. We could probably employ my mom. She's been crocheting a lot of things. Like, I have more face cloths than dishcloths than I know what to do with. So we could just turn them into sweaters.
For the wiener dogs, yeah.
Yeah.
This is a great idea. Money maker, instant money maker.
See this, but this is what happens whenever our brains get together. We come up with new ideas. So this is good.
It's true.
You're now working for, I think it's called, is it the Calgary Entertainment Group?
Calgary Sport and Entertainment Corporation, CSEC. Yeah. So I've been
with the Stampeders, right? Basically.
Yeah. So I've been with the Stampeders since 2012 as the in-arena host, website host, digital host. And then 3 seasons ago now, I joined the Flames. So in a normal year, we would be traveling with both the Stamps and the Flames with the team. Obviously, CFL didn't happen last year. We're optimistic for this year. And then Flames, it was a very small group that got to travel with the team this year. It was just 2 people from my department. And they went through testing every day. There was a lot of protocols. So shout out to them, because they made this season, happen. So I'm
in
glad
some
it wasn't.
interesting things. Yeah, no. And I think people don't realize, like, it's the thing as us as fans on this side of the happenings, we have no idea what goes into place for that to occur and for us to keep updated on what's happening and what it looks like. And I mean,
Yeah.
sports fans, we want to know what's happening with the players. We want the stories. We want those details. And you just don't know what goes into creating that in this weird world we're in.
Well, and it's so like in a typical year, you'd go to practice, you'd be able to, all the media kind of sits together at the Flames. And, after practice, you go downstairs, you have a scrum with the coach. So you're all close together with your microphone in his face. And then you're allowed to go into the locker room and get, quotes from players. And this year, none of that happened. So everything had to be done by Zoom. And you and I were talking off camera before. It's actually brought out, I think, some not better answers, but well thought out answers from the players. And I don't know if it's because they're more comfortable talking to a laptop than they are maybe talking to like a bunch of microphones in their face. So I've actually enjoyed the interviews. I thought that they're a little more insightful this year. If there is one good thing that's come out of this pandemic. So,
yeah. We have to think with adrenaline, distractions, multiple people, cameras, lights, like the fact that they could even answer in general before was surprising to me because it's daunting. It feels weird. And now that, you're getting the opportunity to be on the other side of the camera getting the questions, you're like, oh yeah, I gotta not just listen to your voice, I have to answer you. Shit. Like, it's hard.
yes, the poor millionaires.
First world problems, but hey, they exist. They exist. How has that been for you? Like, it's a real turn in your schedule and kind of the things you have been doing. Have you enjoyed kind of some extra downtime?
That is another good thing that's come of it. It has given us sort of a chance to slow down because, hockey and football, they overlap. Typically we start in April, May for football. Flames are sometimes playing at that time, and but not usually. And then football ends in November, and hockey starts. The regular season starts in October, so there's really no time off in between seasons for me, anyway. So it has been nice just to kind of slow down, and it's not that we can really go anywhere, but really had a chance to enjoy our backyard and got to go camping. Usually in the summertime, we're busy with football. So it was kind of nice to just sort of slow down and take some time and enjoy life. So,
yeah. What have you found that you have like new hobbies or things that you enjoy doing that you didn't realize you did before?
We did an obscene amount of fishing last year. My boyfriend's an
Really?
avid fly fisherman. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mike LaBelle actually took us out ice fishing this winter, which was fun.
Gross. Yeah. Not gross that you went with Mike. Don't get me
But yeah,
wrong, buddy.
we
Ice fishing is interesting.
we've gone to several places that I didn't even know existed. Right outside of Calgary, we went to Lake Newell, actually with John Huffnagel and his wife Sherry. We went sturgeon fishing. That was fun in Medicine Hat. So yeah, my dad used to take me fishing all the time. He lives in Ontario, so we'd go every summer when I would go and visit him, he'd take me fishing. But in Alberta, you don't really think of, you don't have the big lakes or anything like that. So it was kind of neat to explore that and show off my fisherwoman skills.
Did you show them up? Like, were you the
Yeah,
one who
the girls always caught more than the boys. The only time the boys caught more was when we went ice fishing with Mike. So I blame him.
I feel
The
like
intern.
it has something to do with, now this is going to sound not where you're going to go with those of you who live in the gutter, but I think it honestly has a lot to do with how we hold the rods for female versus male.
Yeah.
Right? Because they're a little bit more, and I'm gonna sweep this because I actually have no idea what I'm talking about right now, but this is my theory that's popped into my head, is they're just a bit more aggressive with the rod holding. And that goes down the line and in the water. Like, I feel like the fish could sense that. Whereas we're just handle it a little bit lighter. We're a little bit more
softer
relaxed,
touch.
right? And I think the fish are like, I want to be a part of this. Just a theory. The fisher people of the world, you can test this one out, but that's my Friday morning deep thoughts. It's all how you handle the rod.
Hold on to your rods, girls.
The light touch. I don't know, but I mean, there's women who always outfish men. It's just a theory. I'm waiting for the comments to pop in about that one.
There's no comments.
Will be kind. So far, they're so good. There's always a slight delay. We'll see what happens there. But so besides fishing, what else? What else does Alana do?
What else does one do when there's no sports on?
Nothing else to do.
I got to ride my horse a lot, which was nice. Got to spend some time with him. He's going to be 18, which is crazy to me. I've had him since he was 4.
Yeah.
And he was untouched, like totally trained him right from day one. So getting to enjoy him as he enters his senior years, I guess we could say. So that's been fun. And just hanging out, man. Like, there's not much to do.
It's interesting. Are you a reader? Do you watch movies? Like, have you dived into things that, because you probably didn't have a whole lot of time for that in your previous schedule either.
No, didn't read very much. We got into The Handmaid's Tale, which
that's a spooky one to watch in this
right? It totally is. Especially when they introduced the masks. I was like, okay, this is gone far. And then recently, my boyfriend had never watched Game of Thrones. So I've watched the show religiously, but I hadn't watched it for some years. So we've now been binge watching from the beginning. And it's interesting, some of the things that you've missed when you're watching it on a weekly basis rather than like back to back. So that's been keeping us sane while the lockdown's been on. So
I have not seen that series either. Maybe that's one I'll have to add to the list.
It's a good one.
All right.
You have to mentally prepare though, because there's. You watch what?
Outlander.
Oh yeah, that's some man candy on there.
Yeah. Well, you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Fun. What do you hope? Like, do you know when they're going to? This one puts you on the spot a little. So if you don't know, you don't know. But do they know when they're going to make a call about football for this year?
Beginning of June we're waiting, but things are moving, things are happening. So they've got a projected start date of August 5th. Training camp will start July 9th, July 10th. And I know like there's been some news about, Ontario, because there's 3 CFL teams in Ontario. So that's where kind of the hang up is right now. But it sounds like they're going to actually start their seasons out west. So they'll be on the road for probably the first month of the season. But things are happening. Things are coming together. We're having meetings. We're getting ready. We're making plans. So I'm optimistic for the season.
Now, have you always been a big sports fan?
Yeah. So I grew up, my family, my aunt and my uncle were in the sports world in television broadcasting. So that's how I got my start in the industry. And I worked for a production company that was in charge of the game day operations for the Eskimos can't say that anymore. The Edmonton football team and the Edmonton Oilers. So I worked those games for many, many years and worked for the sports production company, and eventually just sort of found my way down here and working for the Stampeders and for the Flames now. So it's been a journey. And in between, a little bit of rodeo, because why not?
Yeah, and then some rodeo in there. If you didn't work in sports, what do you think you would do?
Join the circus.
That's like a trapeze or what?
I don't know.
I don't know. For some reason, I could picture you
Something.
as a trapeze person.
I don't really like heights, but like
But you can
maybe as
hang
like
off
the
the edge.
equestrian. Yeah, I can hang off
You
the edge
can
of a horse. That's fine.
you can hang off the side of a horse that's running full tilt, but you can't go up high. Interesting.
I don't make the rules,
Interesting.
okay? It's just the way I am.
Just where you're comfortable and where you're not.
Yep.
Okay, I forgot about horses in the circus. That would work, I guess. Okay.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
That's a lot of travel too.
Yeah. See, it's like a common theme. Although, like,
And
honestly,
crowd noise.
working for, yeah, well, crowd noise. Let me tell you, the Saddle Dome right now is a sad place to be.
It would
It's
feel eerie, I
so,
think.
it is. It's just, there's none of that like electricity. There's no emotion. There's just the crowd noise that they pump in is like, and don't get me wrong, everybody's doing a great job of trying to create that atmosphere. It's just, we need fans in there because it's just, you hear everything on the ice, everything is being said. And it's just very, very, very strange.
Yeah. Well, I know I watched our friend Mike that we're talking about did an interview the other night with a couple of guys from the rodeo world, and one of the guys, Dustin, had said what he's really missing the most right now that was not necessarily surprising to him, but he'd said was just, I want that sound of a horse getting loaded into the chute and it kicking the back and the crowd noise and the music. And, he's describing it, and all the other guys on the show were like, oh, yeah. And so there's something about working in that industry. So it made me think of, you and talking today, is that there's something about working in this industry where there's crowd noise, and any musician that I've connected with over this last time too, like that's what they're missing. And there's a real energy to a crowd.
Well, it's the human connection, right? Like and I think anybody who says like, oh, home ice advantage doesn't matter or home field advantage doesn't matter, I think we've proven it is that, with fans, it makes a difference. And especially at a Stampeder game, like McMahon Stadium has been one of the loudest places I've ever been. And I was in Rodeo Houston when Hannah Montana performed. That's how old I am. And 80,000 screaming girls, and McMahon Stadium was as loud, especially on Labor Day. Like I think it's just, like I said, that human connection of, a goal is scored or a touchdown scored, and you have, thousands and thousands of people celebrating with you, and I think the guys miss that. I think our players on both sides, miss that, that pat on the back, that good job from your adoring fan base.
Yeah.
Because they're not on Twitter looking at, oh, somebody's happy that Johnny scored.
Yeah, like no one doesn't make the same noise, but there's something about that, the in-person energy of that has an interesting healing quality to it as well, that we're not really talking about enough. And I think that if nothing else, we can learn how important that is. And I think it happens for musicians, sports people, everybody. Crowd cheering is important. Yeah, Melanie, who's awesome country singer from Saskatchewan, says crowd cheering is a rush.
Yeah.
Like it really, there's something about it. And I know that even in my role in the past of being the person who introduces the person that you're there to see, right? When you say hello to a crowd and, you're getting them geared up for that performer, if there's no noise in the background, you're like, cool. Y'all dead?
Is anybody listening?
Yeah, I think we'll experience that in a couple of weeks. Our company has been asked to come and host an online awards gala for the Alberta Agriculture Societies, and we'll be in a studio producing this show. Like there won't be the people in the crowd. I'm not sure. I'll just be like, anyone?
I can get you I can get you some crowd noise from the Saddle Dome if you want.
Great. Because I don't know if I've ever had that much crowd noise, so I think I feel good about it. Just saying. No, I've been on the stage at the Big Valley Jamboree. That's a crazy amount of crowd noise. That's like 60,000 people. So there's something about it. I feel like it's an untapped energy source. Just going to throw another great idea out there. If there was some way to capture.
Harness that, yeah.
Yeah. I think we'd have something here. Like, we don't have to worry about natural resources anymore. We just need to hold a Hannah Montana concert and we can harness the children's energy. Maybe not. Maybe we should post it like that. It sounds like we're stealing from our kids, but you know, not all the ideas are really good off the hop. Okay.
Yeah. Well, and even like it's not even necessarily crowd noise, because I remember at Banff when we did the Skajor demonstration, and I don't know how many people, like, I don't know, a couple hundred, and they were quiet because they were like, what is happening right now? There's like horses and people skiing down the main street of Banff, and I think they were just kind of like, what's happening? This guy almost landed on a fire hydrant. What's going on?
But their energy is there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was
saying.
so much fun. I can't wait to do that again.
I know. Here we go. Well, I appreciate you coming on to have coffee with us this morning and hang out and tell some stories and all that fun stuff. And maybe maybe we'll have the chance. We're going to just manifest all the positivity. So when you're on the road this summer with the team, maybe we can check in with you and kind of see how it's going, and give us a little behind the scenes look or something into where you're at. We can have a little bit of fun.
Yeah, we'll get a better background. We'll do it from the stadium or something, and give you guys a tour of all the new stadiums that we don't have.
that we'll one day see sometime.
Maybe one day.
They're going to feel new again because we haven't seen them for a while.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Just pretend
paint
they're
on
brand
it.
new. Yeah, it's awesome. Well, thank you again for connecting with us today. Thank you, friends, for joining Alana and I in a conversation. And cheers to you.
Thanks,
Happy
Jody.
Friday.
You the best.
Every day feels like Friday, I guess. The week, I'm like, I don't know what day it is, but it's Friday for those of you who work regular schedules still. Bless you. And have a great day. And Alana, we'll catch up again soon.
Okay, thank you.